Next, I'm talking to Dan and Andy from Novacain about Keep It Casual. Hello, how are you guys?
Good, thank you, man. How are you?
I'm okay. What are you doing right now?
We're sat in a bathtub because together. It's a bit of a shame because a picture speaks 1,000 words. There's 24 pictures a second on a video, so there's 24,000 words you guys are missing out on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know what it's saying or what it means.
Put your video on for a second.
I mean, we're just keeping it casual.
Ah, nice.
Do you want to put your video on for 2 seconds so they can see it?
Yeah, come on, do that. That's all right, just put it on.
Oh, I thought you meant you were sitting in a bar actually naked. I was thinking, no, don't show it.
We are, yes.
I like it. I like it. We can use this for a promo image if you don't mind.
Brilliant. Nice one. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay, right, in a minute, we're going to talk about Keep It Casual. Can you tell us the story behind that song? And is it part of an EP or an album, or is it a standalone single?
So it's actually a standalone single. Our fearless leader and songwriter Lloyd, who isn't here at the moment, he had the riff, the main riff for the song. That he had that kind of in what we call the bank. He doesn't, but the rest of us do. He's got like me and Lloyd. We came out of another band, and we were gonna go. We were just going to start another band with just me and Lloyd in it, and as part of that, we went down to Key West Studios in Gosport, and it kind of went from there. Really, Lloyd's the main lyricist, and he sort of came up with the words, and then he sort of drifted in at various points, leading up to the point where we recorded it. But yeah, all him, man. It was one of those things. He's boss man.
Cool stuff. Okay. Tell us individually about your musical history. How long have you been writing and recording music yourself, and how long have you been a band?
So I've been in several bands. I was in a punk band for a while. I tried a swing band. I tried a ska band. And then so I thought, I'll give Marmalade Moonshine a go. So I normally play guitar, and then me and Dan got to know each other for a little while, and then he sort of asked me to join because they were sort of shaking things up with their old band. And
We were playing five-side football.
We were, yeah. But it was just the two of us. It was just yeah. And it was weird. And none of us won either. That was the weird thing. So he asked me to play bass, which I've not normally done before. So we kind of met up, and I just kind of loved it. I always really loved Marmalade Moonshine, the old band. The old band. And so yeah, I kind of jumped at it really. I was a bit, but I literally had no kind of musical input at all really. Like throughout school, I used to sing on the basis of I used to be involved in like acting, drama based things. So I was always taught to sing, and it kind of came in part and parcel. I belonged to sort of like a school that it taught you how to dance, which I didn't do because, as anybody who's seen me dance knows, I can't. But the singing and the acting part, I did like for all throughout sort of my very early teenage years. And where I met Lloyd, who's the man we started my first band with, and he's in Novacain as the leader again. I met him through work, and we worked at Fareham Leisure Centre, giving them a plug. But yeah, and kind of, I remember we was kind of just looking for things to do. I knew him fairly well to the point where you'd go socialising with someone. I suppose one of his main interests were playing the guitar, and he sort of said him and another friend of ours were there. Sort of, they used to go. They called it sort of like jamming, really. Yeah. And just meeting up and just playing guitar.
Would you like jamming too?
Indeed. And so like, I sort of came along because I really didn't have anything to do with my life whatsoever. And it's better than staying in. And then when he kind of said that he had the words, I sort of said, well, do you want me to sing them to kind of give you an idea of how they sound? I used to do it when I was a little bit younger, and then kind of sang these songs, and it sort of just sparred from there. 6 years later, we've been through 3 bands, and this one I'd like to think will stay put. Boom! We're here to stay. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, we're sat in the bath together, so
that's a pretty big commitment.
That's pretty close, isn't it?
I know you can do this with my girlfriend.
And it's on video, so you can't deny it later.
No, that's true.
You can take back to your childhood. Who are your influences in music, and how have they changed as you've grown up? And is there one that stayed with you the whole time?
Oh, so I kind of, my dad was really into his music. I remember every single Friday I used to go to him on the weekend, and it would be What's the Story, Morning Glory, always on a Friday. A lot of The Who, Bob Seger, Bob Seger, Waterboys, Led Zeppelin, anything sort of from the 70s up until about 2005. So he's really into kind of Kings of Leon, Snow Patrol, anything that was like kind of, that kind of like noughties rock, and then it kind of like fizzled out from there. But I love Green Day. That's how I started playing the guitar, because it's easy. I learned sort of power chords and everything like that, and just like looking in the mirror going like, yeah. With a tie on, yeah. The only time I could ever imagine wearing a tie, because I've never amounted to anything professionally where it's to the level that you're going to need a tie. So yeah, and then obviously with playing bass, it's for some reason I've been playing a lot more like groovy stuff.
Well, you were a guitarist, weren't you?
I was a guitarist, yeah.
But we needed a bassist.
Yeah. So
yeah. I wasn't really into music to the point where I'd actively follow a band. Probably until I was about 18. That's quite like until I met Lloyd. Basically, I used to listen to music a lot, but I was one of those idiots that go, "Oh, I don't really like anything specific." It's like, of course you really know. Yeah. So when I was about 18, 19, I started listening to Oasis. And to be honest, I'd listened to more of Noel Gallagher's solo stuff at that time before really Oasis. But then I was kind of hooked, and that's it. Like, I'm not a very musical person, as much as I spend literally 80% of my time working on music with this band. But really, influences wise, I'd probably say the likes of Liam Gallagher is probably the only huge influence I've had. Other than that, though, from that point on, I just went into this kind of Britpop, indie rock and roll kind of frenzy of Arctic Monkeys, Kings of Leon, the Rifles, like the Last Shadow Puppets,
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yeah. My best friend, he got me into sort of stuff like hip hop from a very young age, and I was a big Michael Jackson fan. And they're still great. They're still great. But I'd say musically, it's got to be Liam Gallagher all the way.
Okay.
You've just amalgamated all of that down, and he is the one package.
Yeah, it would have literally been easier to go Liam Gallagher and just.
I love it. He needs to work on his vocabulary and his tweets. That's the only thing I say. We love you, Liam, but Jesus, mate, use some punctuation every now and then.
Fuck, what do you think?
He'd go, great, you, cool, and he wouldn't know whether it was like the end of a sentence or a start of it, and he wouldn't put his commas. He'd put you know. He put come on, you know, LG with a little kiss. Ah, bless him.
God, I hope he does listen to this.
Well, he probably will, because I slated his brother off last week. I'm not going to get political about it, but I went on there, all the platforms, and I said about it, and I said it runs in the family, Liam, and smiley face. So he's all right, I think. You don't mind?
Get a response?
No, just a smiley face.
No, really? I take that.
But because of what Noel said about masks, it was one of them nights I was a bit pissed off, so I just had to go at him. And yeah, I don't really want to get political on Twitter, but I got drawn into it that night. So, you know.
Yeah. Oh, nice one.
What are you up to? What are you up for in the plans, guys? Over the next couple of weeks and months, if we don't go into another lockdown, have you got any gigs going on? Have you got any new music coming out? Have you got any?
So we've been like rehearsing a lot more and in the studio. So back to your question where you said we got more stuff coming out, we certainly do.
Yes.
Obviously, our single at the moment, Keep It Casual, has been out for a couple of weeks now. We've had a really, really good response. We've been really, very busy on all sorts of social media platforms. We have a Twitter, which our drummer takes care of, because I can't speak for everyone else, but I am no good with social media. But our main platforms are Instagram. You can search us at Novacain. Novacain band, sorry, and the little logo, because there are a few, it's a black background with the blue kind of writing on it, so they won't be able to miss it. And you can obviously hit us on Facebook. We're pretty regular. We're pretty regular posters on that.
Oh yeah,
I like that. That's cool. Looks very cool. Let's talk about your name for a second, because I mentioned it before, but I've been waiting for like since the 1960s for a band to be called Novacain. I've been waiting for it.
Really?
And yeah, I have. And I see one of them names. You think, why has no one done it yet? And then I saw you on there, and I thought, yeah, it's about time. It's a good name.
It's about time.
Well, I hope we do this, multi-decade-old wish justice. Do you know what I mean?
Since the 60s. I feel very honoured that you find that we've managed to.
I can't even count to 60. Let alone from it.
Well, I was born in the late 70s, but my music was from the 60s. You know what I mean? So I've been waiting for since the 60s music. I mean, I was born nearly 1998. I'm not that old, but 1977.
Sure.
But,
Star Wars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh no, Disney. No, they've got enough plugs. Take the.
I'll take that out. Don't worry. Yeah, can't have Disney on there. But I heard a rumor that Nirvana was going to be called Novacain before they became Nirvana.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, yeah. I did not know that. We've been told since many times, so I think everybody sort of thinks, oh, they must.
No.
They must be.
Well, that's weird because our first choice of name was Nirvana, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They stole it though, didn't they?
Then we were like, Nirvana 2? Nah.
Oh, Nirvana's
like aliens.
Yeah, apparently so.
Because a lot of people would find it interesting, that there was no one's ever used it, and they was going to use it, and then they decided to use Nirvana, and then finally, you guys come along with the name Novacain. I think it's brilliant. I love it.
I know.
So much.
I know. Thank you very much. That's one of the most positive things we've heard about any of our names in the past.
What were the other ones? Tell us the other ones.
So the first
Marky
one,
Mark and a Funky Bunch.
2 Digital Underground. Digital Undergrounds. So the first band before Andy graced us with his presence was called Marmalade Moonshine.
Right.
That was a bit out there. That was back when I was 19. And Lloyd would have been 25, so we are going back a hell of a long way. And then we were the Zodiacs, but it turns out there's quite a lot of bands called the Zodiacs, and the problem was people found it a little bit more difficult to find our music because there were so many.
Yeah.
And did you come on? Okay.
Sure.
Take credit.
And I think we all just that.
Excellent.
Really?
I like it. It's good. Is there anything else you want to mention or talk about before we play your song?
Got
any merchandise?
Hang on, I got.
Be excellent to each other.
Face, space, play. No, what's it? What's it? Hands, face, space.
Wash your hands.
Yeah, exactly. Wash your hands. No, so we've got. Stay in tune. Please hit up our Instagram and all social media platforms. That's Novacain Band. We've got a new song coming out very, very soon. But in the meantime, head over to Spotify and all music streaming platforms, Apple Music, Deezer, all of those places, and download Keep It Casual.
You heard it first. Thank you guys for coming on. It's been cool. Did you spill any beer in the bath, by the way?
No, we don't waste beer.
Just wondering. Have you ever had a bath in a beer? I mean, have you had a beer bath? Have you ever done that?
I had one.
I went to a hotel. I'm not going to plug the hotel. No. I went to a hotel once and I made a giant cup of tea in the bath. They give you loads of tea bags for free, so we just shoved them in the bath. We put all over the tiny little milk cabbages and just like opened them up. Made a giant cup of tea, but not a beer. I might brew my own beer in the bath once. Should you do it now?
Fine. I ain't got nothing else to do.
Well, whilst we're playing Keep It. Oh, segue brings it back.
All right. Oh, thanks, guys. Cup of tea in a bath. That's a different one. Having a bath of tea. I like that.
Yeah, well, you know.
Excellent. Right. Do you want to introduce your song?
Yeah, go on, Andy. You do it.
Yeah?
Yeah, go on. I've had enough.
Forget everything you've heard. Remember everything you're about to hear. Because this is Novacain with Keep It Casual.
Excellent. How many of them beers you had?
Just one.
Do you mind if I use that video clip there for promotional purposes?
No, you go ahead,
please
man.
do, yeah.
Excellent stuff. All right, thanks, guys. Brilliant.
No worries.
Thank you so much. I'll
No.
speak to you soon.
See you later,
Cheers,
my man.
mate. Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Cheers. Bye.